Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn, coming to you from, seems like forever in quarantine, but maybe we'll get out someday, right? Hopefully, soon, really soon. I really thought I was cut out for this, but maybe not. I'm on Flosstube number 15. This is April 2nd. I hope this little video finds you all well and not sick or stressed any more than you have to be. I think my sister, I'm moving my little stand over here, y'all, sorry. I think my sister may be about to stroke out from all this. I think she's about washed her hands off, and my husband's about the same way, but hopefully they'll still have some sort of digits left by the time this is all said and done. And all of a sudden I think I'm crooked. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try to straighten you up a little bit. Yike. Maybe there we go. Okay. Maybe that's better, I'm not sure. I did get a little bit of spring decorating done. This is the year that I feel like I'm living my grandparents' life. You know, that old saying, use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. That's where we're sitting right now. No new decorations, no, you know, I can't go get flowers or anything. Our nursery did deliver things last week or week before. They just dropped them off and left them outside the garage. I left them sitting out there in the sun for a day and then went and picked them up and planted them after that. So hopefully that's still safe. I'm enjoying them though. I put out some, what all did they bring me? Geraniums, zinnias, lantana, salvia, jasmine, and probably something else that I'm completely forgetting, but just mainly annuals. My Texas Star Hibiscus have started, they're back, they're about this tall, so they come back every year, so that's great. They've started coming up. One of my lantanas came back in the front. This house kind of faces north, so the front flower beds, I wasn't sure how they'd do, but so far so good, so we'll see. But we will jump right into, I got questions and comments and things. This I could not find. Jude is looking for a pack of graph paper, you know, like old school graphing, like you used to do charts on, which I have some, but she wants a variety pack in one package. So like 14, 16, 18 size graph in one package. I have not found that anywhere. If any of y'all come across that, holler. Jude is desperately seeking that, and we'll see what we can find. Amy Davis saw James Williams go by the window in the last video. I had to cut it off really short because he was coming in and he talked so loud and everything. He'd have blowed y'all out of here. So, but she did see him go by the window, and she was glad that he was alive, that I hadn't killed him yet. So far so good. We're both still alive on that front too. But many more of these weekends sitting inside the house together, and it may not happen. I'm just saying, y'all. I don't know. Sherry asked if Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher comes in a digital format. It does. I think it's $24 a year, so it's super reasonable. So, I mean, it's a great price. So, if you live far or you don't want to wait for it to get there, you can get the digital subscription download. I know a lot of people use it on their Kindles and things. I have a Kindle and we have iPads here, but y'all know my tech skills are sad at best. So, it is what it is. I'm just not good at that. I've only stitched one thing off my phone and I managed to make it through, but it was super short. That Spring by Needle Art, pressed by Wendy, that one is all I've ever done off my phone, and it was fine, but it was super quick. Maria wanted to know if 123 had any PDF files, 123 Stitch. They do, but most of them are on Etsy. Etsy has tons of, you can get PDF downloads off them. Lots of cute charts. We'll talk about one in a few minutes, another new designer. We're gonna try to talk about those one a week, so to kind of get some of those new designers out there in front of everybody. Tanya and several of the rest of y'all have asked about Mama. She's fine. She seems to be taking this in stride. She has, sister, like I said, has gone kind of overboard, and you know, she's like super cautious about this. And so the girls and I have been going over. We stay 6 feet away. We go over a couple times a week, drop off stuff. she called me and said, I guess day before yesterday, and said she needed some things from the store. And I thought, I thought she went on Monday with sister, you know, or sister picked up on Monday. And I thought it was strange, but she threw a couple of things out there, and then she said she needs some Dr. Peppers. And I thought, okay. Well, my daughter went to the store and picked them up and brought them here. And then the girls and I took them the next day over there. And when I talked to my sister after that, she said she didn't need no Dr. Peppers. I said, well, she said she did. I said, I took two liter ones over there. She said, no, she has a bunch of them. I just haven't been letting her have them, because if she gets them, she'll drink it all that and not drink any water. And sister says that she can tell a huge difference, and she's with her, you know, all day, every day right now, because of the quarantine. She says she can tell a huge difference in her thinking and her upset and her stress and things if she doesn't drink enough water and drinks Dr. Peppers instead. So for what it's worth, I don't know, but we laughed because we were like, well, Mimi done found a back door to try to get her supply in. Mimi's done lining up extra suppliers to try to be sure she gets her Dr. Peppers in one way or the other. So we thought that was pretty funny that she knew sister was divvying them out to her. And so she called and told me she needed some so she could get her an extra side stash over there. So I told sister, I said, I guess go over there and mark on them with a Sharpie or something. I don't know. And tell her she can only drink this much. I don't know what else to do. So, and Lynn and several of the rest of y'all had asked about me calling my husband James Williams. Well, I laugh and say, for one thing, we're not on a first name basis, all right? So he is James Williams, but the real thing is my daddy is James Allen. We have several friends that are James Lynn, James Obie. My husband's daddy was James Jr. Mine, James Williams, is a third. His daddy was a James Jr., so the grandpa before that was J. Arthur. So they're all these, my dad's best friend, James Lynn's daddy's name is Jimmy. So you have to be careful what you say you're doing with the Jameses in our running group. So we just try to be real specific. So I just refer to him as James Williams, and that just keeps everything clear. And he's always kind of in trouble anyway, and you know I ain't gonna say Arthur. That's one of those words I have really struggled with. Arthur, Rory, those things, those words that have two R's in them are not my words. I have very few things that I say are not my words, but those are not my words. So I'm not saying Arthur if I can keep from it, because I don't like it. And yes, his family was very offended that we didn't name CJ James Arthur Williams IV. But yeah, that ain't happening ever. For one thing, even though things go by social security numbers and things nowadays, James Williams has had an account at Sears since he was 2 years old, because him and his daddy and all of them have the same name. So never happening. So CJ is CJ, and the second, third, fourth, fifth didn't happen, and it ain't gonna happen. So for what that's worth, it's fine if you want to do that, but I just feel like everybody deserves their own name, so that's just me. Jean, Karen, there are lots of y'all that commented that y'all had never learned to swim. And good old girl, which is what CJ started calling, we always called my daddy's mama, Mama. They were Mama and Papa. But when CJ was little, he said to my daddy one day, Daddy said something about Mama, his mama. And CJ said, Buddy, which is what they call my daddy, is Buddy. He said, Buddy, you know, she's a good old girl. And that just stuck. And she was good old girl from then on. So good old girl is my grandma, my dad's mama. And she would always say, don't you get in the water till you know how to swim. I want y'all to think on that a minute. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but I guess you could air swim, I don't know. But she was horrified of the water. So my daddy didn't learn to swim. Jimmy White taught my daddy to swim after I was born. My daddy didn't know how to swim till then. And he's still not a great swimmer, but he could, you know, get out the water probably. But that's because his mama didn't want him to learn to swim till you get in the water till you learn to swim. So yeah, that makes it kind of hard. But my mother's mother didn't know how to swim. My mama doesn't know how to swim. So my parents always made sure we went to swim lessons. And I got kicked out of my first swim lesson at about 3 years old because I wouldn't quit swimming. I've always been a fish, I always liked the water, and I got kicked out of swim and told I had to go to a different swim school because I could swim. In the little kid class, they couldn't swim, and I kept swimming off and leaving the class. And so I got kicked out my first swim school, so that should be a sign right there. But when I was little, my grandma, my mama's mama, took swim classes, and she wanted to learn to swim. And so even at that age, she took swim classes, and that swim diploma, she was as proud of as she was her high school diploma, because she said that was just something she'd always wanted to do and she was scared to do, and she went and did it. So you can still take swim classes no matter your age. It's like my daddy saying he don't need a hearing aid because he's not old enough for one. And I say, Daddy, you know they put them on babies, right? You don't get a hearing aid because you're old. You get a hearing aid because you can't hear. But that's a whole other story. My daddy and James Williams both need to go get them a hearing aid, but it don't look like that's happening either. So, but that is all our swimming lessons. We are all big swimmers. And my mama, I decided I was going to teach her to swim a couple years back before we went to Mexico, because I don't know if y'all have ever snorkeled or scuba. It is so peaceful. It's just very quiet. You just hear the clicking of the animals and fish and the little crabbity things. You can hear little small sounds, but it's super peaceful. And so I decided I was going to teach her to swim, and so she could go snorkeling with us. And we worked in my sister's pool, and she wore her life jacket and hung on to the side. And y'all, that life jacket's rated for like 350 pounds. You couldn't have sunk two of my mamas if it ain't working. But she was horrified. But she tried and went, and we got to Mexico, and I said, come on, Mama, let's go. Now, she has her life jacket on. And this is our dry run in Mexico. And we're getting off the dock, and I'm treading water down there. I'm like, come on, Mama, get in. She's on the little ladder thing. And I'm like, Mama, you gotta let go of the ladder. You can't swim hanging onto that ladder. And y'all, she has her life jacket on. She let go of that ladder, turned around, grabbed on to me, and pushed me right under the water. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm a real good swimmer, because I was able to get her situated, get her back over to the ladder without letting her completely drown me in Mexico. But she did snorkel a little bit, and so she could see the fish and everything, but she ain't done it since. She ain't been back in the water and nothing else. But I was like, I laughed and laughed at her. Mama, you can't drown with that life jacket on. She'd say, I'm sinking, I'm sinking. No, Mama, you're not. You cannot. Your feet are going down because you're reaching for the bottom with your feet. But no matter what I said, she was not comfortable. She didn't like it. But she did go snorkel with us. Now, when we did the deep, deep water, she didn't get out then, but we always go. There's enough of us that we can rent a private boat and just go our family, because we all swim, and we don't like those where you have to hang onto the rope and all that mess. No, we just rent us a boat with a driver and stuff, and they take you out there and let you do your thing. So that's what's really nice, and that's what we like. But I don't know that I'll be trying to get Mama to swim anymore. I'm just going to jabber on for a while here, y'all, because y'all had sent me some stuff that made me think about some funny stuff. Finish a Quilt sent that she used to be a lifeguard, and she got this really beautiful white bathing suit, and she tried it on, and she had her mama look at it, and she had the sales lady look at it, and it wasn't see-through till she got in the water. And then it was real see-through. And that made me think about, we were in Jamaica 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm a necky person. My husband is not a necky person. So, I went straight up to the nude beach and lost as much of my bathing suit as I could. I did leave my bottoms on because I was just not too keen on that, even though I had my towel to sit on. But there was people of all ages, all sizes, everything there. Fine with me. I'm just reading my book. This little man and woman every day. And if somebody has some explanation for this, y'all got to tell me. She was very old. I mean, like my mama's age, okay? She wasn't my age. She was my mama's age. And she was not fit. She was very heavy. And she had a little husband who was built about the same. But I seen her first a couple days by herself. She didn't have a top on. Fine with me, girl, you do you. But instead of having no bottoms or some swim bottoms, she had on white granny panties. And you know, I'm talking about those white long ones like this. But when she get in the water, they was plumb see-through. Why bother? If they gonna go plumb see-through, just gonna take them off. I could not figure that out for days. And y'all, her little husband, he was much more free than her. Because he went with nothing. Which, like I said, is fine. You do you. They would hold hands and they would walk down the beach. She would have on them see-through granny panties that was see-through because they was wet. And y'all, he was naked as the day he was born. And his little junk was tired and just hanging down there like a plumb bob. He didn't care. He was happy as he could be. And they walked down that beach. Oh, they were so cute. But I thought, well, the first time James Williams got ready to go to dinner and he come to get me and saw that, he was not happy. So from then on, he would just get a certain distance and go to hollering for me to come back because he was ready to go eat and he did not want to come down there and see them old naked people, which, like I said, I'm fine. You do you. If you're happy with doing that, you go dog go. I hope you enjoy it. The one lady did make me a little uneasy because she was probably about, I don't know, 10 years older than me. But she was reading, okay? She didn't have her top on. She was reading, you know, in her chaise longue, leaned back. And then she would sit up and she had her reading glasses on. And so she'd have them on like this. And she'd be looking around. And I always felt like she done caught you cheating on a test or something. I was like, oh, I know. She must be some kind of school teacher in another life. She would have them glasses on and looking up over looking around there and feel like he was in trouble. And I was like, Lord have mercy, I'm where I'm supposed to be. But she was mean looking. You know, you'd had that mean teacher that time. Well, that was her. And I know she was. She made me all kind of uncomfortable. But, whew, Lord have mercy. But them white see-through panties, if anybody y'all got an explanation for that, y'all just let me know. Because I couldn't figure it out. And Lynette and Diane both thought that I didn't even think about y'all when I was there last week looking out the windows, what those umbrellas must have looked like. Lynette thought I lived by some kind of park. It must be some kind of monument. She said for 10 minutes or so it took her to figure out what it was. I never thought about what those things look like when they're closed. But I was laughing because Diana said she thought they looked like a rocket. And I thought, Lord have mercy. It's going to be like Bugs Bunny if we have to do this quarantine much longer. I'm going to have to strap James Williams on one of them rockets and send him off the moon like a Bugs Bunny episode. Because, y'all, no. I don't know about this. This is what's going to get people from the quarantine. Staying locked in with their spouses. Yeah, I can't imagine if all your kids are home, you're trying to educate them too. I'm just going to say on that, if you're stuck in with your kids, your job is to keep them kids alive. You did not sign up to be their teacher. You do the best you can. You cover as much of their lessons as you can. But if my kids had to do math right now, they'd be out of luck till their daddy got home, and he ain't got no patience for teaching anybody anything, so that would be no good at all. And Teresa Atkinson, I was laughing at her because she said she went skinny dipping with all her clothes on after graduation, after too much hunch punch, which I'm assuming is like trash can punch, what we call here trash can punch. But bless her heart, she jumped in with all her clothes on and went that way. Yike. But I'm going to try to stop rambling, y'all, and get on to some stitching here. Yike. I'm just going on and on. We said we were going to talk about PDF charts on Etsy. Who suggested it? Phyllis, maybe? Phyllis suggested it, and I had already found it and looked at it, so I was going to talk about Autumn Lane. Autumn Lane on Etsy had some really cute charts, very good prices. So if y'all are where you can't get mail right now or can't shop or whatever, you can at least look and see and get PDF downloads from them. Autumn Lane was one. And then I wanted to shout out to Sambry Stitches. I don't know if y'all watched her on here, but she has, she did an Ada parade. And I saw her, I saw it on, I missed 28 and saw 29, and I think she did some more on 30. So if you'll look at her episodes 28, 29, and 30, she, I think, gets them from Be Stitch Me and Color and Cotton. And then I think there was talk about a Garibaldi one in there, which I've used several times in Stitch Your Mail. If y'all watch her, she has some beautiful work, and she and I both have used them. And I hope her anxiety's okay right now, Mel. I was thinking about you the other day. But she's having an Ada parade. So y'all that think you can't get beautiful Ada, I'll show you a piece of colored Ada in a minute. And she has some that in the whole parade, just all kinds of colors. So they're great. And I think you can order from Be Stitch Me and Color and Cotton like all the time. But we'll jump in with some previous finishes real quick. And y'all, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling today. This little egg I found when I was putting out my spring decorations. I did this back in the 80s. It's just finished. And boy, you can see how much faded it is. But you know it's 80s with that mauve on there too. But I didn't put a year or anything on there then, which makes me sad. But you could do, I know Cricut Collection has some like this, and things you could do with this and just finish it. It's just a styrofoam egg cut in half and then stuck back together. So it worked out really great. I've had it, what, 30 years now, and here it sits, or more, 40. Yay. Well, that makes me, dang, I'm hating that. Let's see what, I'm trying to hold this as a big one. Oh, and you can see right over there, right at the fireplace in the center is, what is that one called? I found it, Springtime Joy by Bling Designs. It was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine, March, April 2015. And I just kind of made it into a little banner. I just wanted something quick and easy and kind of with some movement to it. I had it on a door. And I just like so I tore up like batik on the bottom strips, and I'll try, I think I can use it maybe for a cover photo to get a closer picture of it, but I've used it since 2015, 2016, and loved it. It's worked out great. This one, and I can't remember who I was talking to it with. This is Summer by Cricut Collection, and sorry it's gonna have a bad glare, y'all. See if I can get up here and get a little closer. Not without, maybe get rid of the glare like that possibly. But it is on a piece of Ada that looks like the sky. Now, when I had this framed, the man and I had a misunderstanding because I thought he was gonna scooch in and, you know, come up on it really close like this, like I do. But he didn't. He left all this space around, and I don't like it. And I didn't have the heart to tell him because he loved it so much. So I still put it out. I love it. I just wish that the frame was in closer here and not so much of this blue showing. Yes, I could go have it redone, but what a pain, and it's expensive as all get out. So there you go. But that is another previous finish. That one, that chart will be my share this week because I found it and looking for something else, and I've already stitched it. So that'll be my share this week, is the Summer Cricut Collection. And like I said, I'm sorry if you had done spring, and I'd done summer, but I have not done the spring one yet. I do have an FFO here. This is the second hip hop that I did, and I'm gonna try to scooch up on it pretty close. I just had to finish it with what I had here at the house since we can't go out and get anything. So it's not exactly how I'd want to finish it. But here again, it's in that Hobby Lobby box. And you can see here is my snowy chalk full in there, and then I'll just put, sorry y'all, I'm dropping everything. This one will just go right in there, and I'll just stack them all around and fill them up on the inside, and that will keep them all where they need to be. And then I just change it out on the front. My watch band is sticking to the box is the problem. Stick it on the front, and then I've been having it on this little table back here, so I'll put it back there in a second. But that one, I don't know the number to it. It fell on the floor right here. Let's see if I can get it. There you go. And this is how my husband likes my hair best. It is Hobby Lobby, and I cannot see the number way down there. Hold on. Hold please. Here we go. Y'all gotta see the top of my head and everything else. Stools scooting around. It is Hobby Lobby 1635929. I don't know if that's gonna focus on that or not. Maybe if I get my head out of the way. There we go. But I have really liked that, the little bin that Priscilla uses, you can't find anywhere. And so I was looking for something else, and so that has worked out really well for me. That is my only FFO this week. I've got those other things in there, and y'all, I'm just, dang, I just am having all kind of issue finding that in there. I have this. Here it is. I found this and looking for something else that I evidently had packed up when we were doing something. Spring Hair by Leslie Tier. It's in just cross stitch April 2018. Evidently I had started it. I have all the floss in a little bag, and it was rolled up with this really huge, like, giant needle. I don't know what the heck's going on with this needle, but whatever. Let me see if I can get it where it'll show up a little bit. Right there. So I will be putting some stitches in him. I just found him yesterday. So he will be a whip. So you can see that is the bottom right there, that blue flower, and that section is done. And I'll try to get this finished up since I found it, and get it going. Go me. Which is odd. I usually don't have very many things that aren't finished, so I'm not sure how that happened, that it got off to the side or wherever. But the drawn thread Welcome Spring, I thought I would have it finished for y'all this week, but I have been spending way too much time watching the news. See me touch my face? I've been watching way too much time watching the news, and so I did not quite get my Welcome Spring finished. But let me see what I can put it on here so it'll show up a little bit better. But I've got everything done but the E and mainly the satin stitches. I've done some of the other specialty stitches, but not the satin stitches. I did see where Gary and Vanna, I was saving them to the last because I don't want to get them all wrinkled up. But somebody, maybe Krista Kramer had, where Gary and Vanna had said, cut you a piece of batting and put on here, and then when you roll up, your satin stitches won't get so wrinkly on it. So I've got everything but the satin on here. The bunny's done, the L, the C, the O, the M. The basket has a ton of, let me see if I can get where you can see it, a specialty stitch. It's got some rice stitch and a herringbone at the top and the bottom, and the rice stitch in the middle. I think those are the right names of them if I remember right. And then these are some tiny little Smyrna crosses, and they really give the appearance of a hyacinth. I was really pleased with how that came out. It looked so much like a hyacinth when I was done. But there are satin leaves missing here. There are 2 satin leaves missing here. The eggs in the basket are satin stitches, And then in the E, there is another bird and 2 satin leaves. So I'm pretty close to being finished, but I really thought that I would get it done to show y'all this week, but I did not make it. Sorry. Like I said, I've been teasing my sister about it, but I got so obsessed watching the news that I find myself focusing on that and not paying attention to my stitching at all, which is just ridiculous, but it is what it is, I guess. I did at least get some Easter decorated done. I don't know if y'all can see, probably gonna make y'all sick. The mantle got done. The girls have some stuff on the fireplace they can play with. Then I've got there on the little buffet table thing is done. I've got, I don't know if I can swing y'all this way. I hope I'm not making y'all sick. I've got a tier tray over there that has some ceramic pieces I made over the years and some cross stitch pieces and things in it. And my big Easter tree has got lost somewhere. So I have ordered another one so the girls can decorate it. They've got a little one on the fireplace. I don't know if you can see it over there, decorated right under the banner, the Needle Bling banner, and they really like it. They had a big time getting it decorated, so they loved that. But this week, the share will be Summer by the Cricut Collection, and that's the one that I showed here. And I think I used most of the call for colors. A few I had to switch out because it didn't show up on this. So here is my Summer, and that'll be the share this week will be Summer. The one that oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna have to send y'all out a message because I left the piece of paper where I wrote down who won, who got the this one. Holy smokes. Y'all, I'm falling to pieces here. The April Showers stocking here is the share this week and from last week, but I left the piece of paper where I wrote down who the comment picker picked. So I will put that in comments and I'll contact the person on comments. I think I can send out a group message to everybody that's subscribed, but if you want to be in the drawings, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then this week we will use the word, let's just use the word summer, because we can be thinking about summer and by then all this mess will be over with and we can go do what we want, because I'm ready to go do what I want. I'm that person, I can stay inside all the time, but I am lonely. I like visiting more than this, and if the littles weren't coming over and Michael wasn't dropping them off, I'd probably already chewed the legs off the furniture by now. No joke, y'all. I am over this. I love to stay home, but I am a social creature, and this is no way no for me. So just use the word summer. That's going to be our tagline, is summer, and we will get that share next week, and then I'll send the post. I don't know any other way to do to say who is the share getter of the April Showers by Blackbird Designs, because I have 2 of these. And and that's the one that I did, the little tiny stocking. I don't remember what video I showed it on, maybe was it maybe 12 or 13 that I showed the finish on here? Let's see if I can tell. Yes, on 12. Flosstube 12, if you want to see my tiny finish of this one on 22 count tea-dyed hardanger. I did this one on it and just hand finished it myself. So if you want to see that, you can click over there and look at that one. But I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys stay in. I hope you guys have everything you need, especially toilet paper. There was a big wreck on 20, which is a big highway near us, Kirsty. And what do y'all think it was? A semi full of toilet paper. Yes, full of toilet paper. They showed it on the news. Toilet paper everywhere, all wet and everything because it caught on fire. And there you go. So if you think that the good Lord don't have a sense of humor, think about right now and that semi full of toilet paper burning on the side of 20. And that ought to get y'all giggling this week. But tell me about summer, and y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all again next week. And I will have welcome finished, and hopefully I will have some more FFOs. So y'all take care. Bye.